When I was going to technical high school, we used to get a visit every 6 months from the Navy bus, and I was quite taken with the spiel, and I always been like a technical type person, so I saw there was an advantage for me going into the Navy. When Vietnam came along, they took her into Garden Island Dockyard, gave her a quick refit, and then she was set ready then for the first trip north with all the troops and all the gear they could carry. They built a huge bridge from the Garden Island wharfs up level with the deck of the Sydney, so all the trucks and stuff were driven up it and they were loaded, and the soldiers, they formed up on the wharf in their units and then they ceremoniously marched on. It was actually pretty good because a lot of the sailors on Sydney had to sleep in hammocks because the soldiers coming on, and they chose to do that purely because they thought that they wanted these guys to be as comfortable as they could, because they're not going to get it real easy when they get to the other end. Oh, they loved it. Oh, well, there's a movie every night for them. They got a beer issue. The PTIs got them up on the flight deck every morning and gave them their exercises. And then the gunnery people got them down the after end for rifle practice or gunnery practice. Yeah, they thought it was Christmas. Sydney would go in early in the morning and she used to leave by 4 o'clock. She never stayed in the harbour overnight because it would be an easy job to lob a couple of rockets in and knock her off. Very gaunt, very quiet. They do a lot of staring. Didn't tend to join in. Sort of kept to themselves a lot. That was my first experience of guys that had been in battle and how it really affected them. You can just tell it in their face, you know. Everything was sad about them, you know. It was quite an experience the last trip because, number one, all our hospital on board got filled up with wounded and other sick guys, more so than we'd have ever seen. In fact, we had to finish up pinching a mess off the soldiers and using that to bed down these sick and injured. They got the military equipment on there that they had to bring back, and I think a lot of them was stuff that was still operational was given to the South Vietnamese. There was a lot of the stuff there, they just dug a big trench and they just pushed everything in there, put hand grenades in them and drums of diesel, let them off, exploded it all, and then got the bulldozers just to cover it over. Well, I actually loved my time in the Navy, even though I came out a bit of a wounded warrior on the other end, but I was well looked after by the system. I sometimes get little twinges of being stupid, but I've got a shed, and when I know that I'm getting a bit angry or a bit of animosity towards my wife, I go up the shed. And I know when it's all over because she comes up with a cup of tea, comes up and has a cup of tea with me and, "What would you like for dinner, darling?" And it all goes.